Thank you so much. Let me first of all thank the invitees who invited us to join you as the Minister of Trade and Industry, Michael and AFRI-GLOBAL. For the interest of time and the benefit of speaking the last, it has been very advantage that I collect all these ideas and I make them in my speech. So I will not take up much of the time. SMEs, investors, people with various experiences, support agencies, you realize that there is a good collection of support ecosystem when it comes to SME support here. And as from the Ministry of Trade and Industry, I think this is something that we much welcome and appreciate, but we also wish that it is done as much as possible. So on behalf of the Minister who would have joined you, but specifically on behalf of the sector of trade and industry, we deal closely with startups, SMEs, but also private sector. And I was sharing with the members that were seated here, it depends on who is pushing in at times. When we have many of private sector issues coming on the table, realize that the focus goes there. If you have many people coming in industry and are focusing on manufacturing, realize the focus is there. But it is also important that we look at the foundation, the startups, the SMEs that are the future companies that we're targeting. And so from the government side, I realized that just participating in here, there are different angles of interest that we are looking at, and we need to be really having a deliberate and intentional desk that deals with startups, but particularly SMEs in the space. To give a context of where we are today, under the trend, of course, many of you have been following, the African Continental Free Trade Area brings on table an opportunity for a wider market. It gives us an opportunity of 1 billion plus, but still we are into the East African community, which gave us close to 200 million. Still again, we had the common market for Eastern and Central Africa, which had around 560 million. When you look at these enormous markets that we are all gearing towards, you definitely have one question to ask: what are we taking there? And who is going there? And definitely, this is not an issue of the wideness of the market, but also the kind of products and services we are bringing to these kinds of markets. So, to me, it's an interrogation to say, are the products and services that we need coming out of this? Is this where we have the startups that can take us to these markets and we are competing competitively? We have seen different sectors of interest, most especially the service sector comes in ranking. You go into IT, you talk about fintech solutions. We have our brilliant young people who are doing very great products around IT. You look at manufacturing, we have quite a good competition around that. But we need more. We need more innovations. We need more players to come in. And definitely, when it comes to the space of SMEs and startups, there will always be three key things. One, the cost of capital. Two, the market. And lastly, the capacity. And these are the key pillars, or these are the key issues that all of us, and when I say all of us, it means government, with all the coalition of people like AFRI-GLOBAL, we should be tackling to make sure that we address these bottlenecks. So when you talk about the market is there. The market is waiting. Even on the domestic market, we have needs, very many needs. So we need innovations to make our life easy. For example, I always tell people, even in agriculture sector, we have so many needs that are coming in there. Talk about post-harvest handling, technologies. We have issues that are coming in there. Today we talk about a gap of production. We have a lot of production coming in horticulture. But down the road, someone says, I don't have a market. And then these products go wrong. They are wasted. Post-harvest handling. So even thinking about our own domestic needs, we realize that there are opportunities for our young people. There are opportunities for our startups. And that responds to some of the questions that some of the panelists mentioned here. How much do we read our industries? How much do we read our markets? What extent of the much do you understand the problem that you're going to address? And if you really nail it there, then the other parts that come, they will be addressed in a different way. Capital, access to market, and capacity. So if we can read the industry as it grows, if you can read the industry that you want to go into, I think there is an opportunity that we can work with you. And I say work with you because we have a coalition. We have today AFRI-GLOBAL, we have other players that are interested to support. But we need you to take the lead in defining the problem, the product, and then we move together. The other point that I wanted to emphasize, today we have around 30 plus entrepreneurship support organizations. They are all doing different things. At the Ministry of Trade where I sit, we are looking at how these synergies need to be brought together. Today, if someone is looking at areas of investments, startups that he can invest in, there should be someone elsewhere who is packaging them, who is supporting them. Today, if someone is looking at young talents, there should be someone who is profiling them. Our colleague right there should be someone who is profiling them. So there are also a need for us to really synergize the potential that we have in the different SOs, entrepreneurship support organization, in addressing some of the issues that we are reading in the market. And I think that is our role. We are trying to play that role as a ministry. Definitely we still have a journey. AFRI-GLOBAL can play a role there. There's a lot that you can do, but particular to it is there is a potential within the prayers that we have. It's a matter of us looking at how we synergize together to accommodate that and support our SMEs. So my call to our innovators, different talks that have been shared by our panelists, very brilliant ideas here. Let's really have these discussions going. Let's have this common understanding of what we are addressing. Let us make sure that we are not scattered a bit into the intervention that we are addressing, and in particular to it as government. Definitely the environment for playing is playing. You can open a company, you can be registered in how many hours, but the question is how much time do you survive? And that's where we need to be looking at them. The number that registers is high, but the number that drops off, as been discussed, is also high. So the challenges along those trends need to be tackled and jointly in a collaborative way. So I really want to take the opportunity to call our different partners, and particularly to AFRI-GLOBAL. When we have these such clinics, business clinics for our young innovators or young entrepreneurs, it's an opportunity for us to tap into some of these challenges and then look at the networks that we have. And then say, at least if AFRI-GLOBAL is mapping out these issues, who takes over some of these issues that have been identified? And that way we can easily read our progress and work together through government, through different prayers, but definitely let us not drop these ideas. Let us not just have discussion per se. Let us make sure that they are informing us in different prayer groups, and we can focus on addressing some of these issues. But lastly, there will always be challenges. There will always be challenges. And as a business person, you will always encounter those challenges. The question is how much passionate are you about your idea? How much passionate are you about your product? And can you persevere? Can you push? Can you go beyond just saying, let me try this, let me try this, let me go into this business? That is where we gauge how much you thought through about this business. And I think the beauty about today, most of our young businesses really take much of the time to idealize. They take time to read their products. It's different from yesterday, where we had people who started business because of circumstances of life. It was a bit difficult. You could start a business for survival. But today when you read the kind of products and companies that are coming up, they are reading the need, they are trying to take some time into the idealization level. So all we can do as government is to make sure that all the support that is needed can be consolidated in a collaborative way, and we make sure that at least the number of survival is higher than the number of those that are dropping out in the ecosystem. So it's just to thank you once again, to thank the AFRI-GLOBAL for inviting us, but also call it that let's have this really come out with some results, and let us have different players have a carry forward. Thank you so much for the great evening.